Right, so another way to begin to adjust the light quality is instead of having to render every single time, I'm going to go to my settings and I'm going to turn on these interactive mode. And I'm going to start it by clicking the tea kettle with the hand. And now I'm going to try to minimize or move some pieces around here just to make it a little bit easier to see. I'll put this on this side. So now when I'm in here and I start to move around, I can start to see what this overall rendering will look like. But now if I start to adjust the actual quality of the light, I can click over here on my rectangle light. If I start to adjust, say, for example, the intensity, because I'm in that interactive mode, it's starting to render in real time. So I can start to see how just by changing the intensity, how that starts to affect the light. If I wanted to see how just by changing the color, I can start to see how that starts to affect the overall rendering, the quality of the rendering. Right, if I had like a nighttime rendering or a dusk rendering, I can start to see how that starts to affect it. So another way I can start to do this as well is start to move the light around. So I'm going to minimize this a bit. I'm going to move this on this side. And I'm still under my settings, I'm still in this interactive mode. So I can begin to move my light around, except the only trick is, as I'm moving my light around, it's really difficult for me to see what I'm looking at. So sometimes what I will do is I'll go into my 4 views and reset the 4 views here, 4 viewports. And I'm going to temporarily close my V-Ray asset editor. And in my perspective mode, I'm going to come in over here and just zoom in on this object, on this Mobius strip, just so I can see it a little bit better. But in my other 3 modes, or my other 3 views, I can now begin to adjust the light or move the light, and I can now begin to see how those adjustments are beginning to affect the overall quality of the rendering. So you say, for example, here, just so you can see something really extreme, I have the light source really, really close, and it's completely washing out my rendering. I can just move it further back, and I can see how that is now being affected. But it's a lot easier just to be in this interactive mode and have these 4 viewports and just move your light source around or adjust your light source in some way, and you can see how it's beginning to affect the overall rendering.